Welcome to the Fight Night Daily podcast here at Twickenham, known as Twickers, otherwise the Allianz Stadium, your home of rugby, not mine. I'm Wales and Italy, of course. Spencer Oliver's here with me. We're back in Blighty, though, back from Riyadh. What a week that was, but what a week we got ahead of us. Live on talkSPORT this Saturday night, Adam Azim against Ohara Davies, Anthony Yarde on the card, Dan Aziz, Fran Hennessy, Shannon Courtney, Michael McKinson. I'm just naming a few people. I'm just dropping them and picking them up. Yeah. It's a really big card to kick off. What is the season here?
Absolutely. Listen, it is a fantastic card, you know, at the Copper Box Arena on Saturday night, live and exclusive on talkSPORT as well. But yeah, really looking forward to this main event. Adam Azim versus Ohara Davies. Really, Adam Azim, you know, 11-0, 8 KOs, European champion, actually stole my record. I held for 26 years, becoming the quickest ever to do that. That's
how many fights did it take you to do it?
11.
Okay, so he's only equalled you.
No, he nicked it in 10. He won
it in 10.
Yeah.
Your maths is on point today. I love it.
Well, I had to up my game after last week. So
10 rounds down, 4 apiece.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm only reminding you, it was a very funny moment.
You're never going to let that go, are you?
Every time I think about it, it just tickles me. But I love you more for it.
Absolutely. So listen,
he's broken your record.
Yeah, he broke my
How special is he, first of all?
He's very special. You don't do that easily. You know, he's a good young fighter, and I'd say
22.
young fighter. Ohara Davies, been there, seen it, done it. Only ever lost to the best. Barroso last time out.
Ismael Barroso in January, knocked out in the first round, surprisingly, in Vegas, and Jack Catterall, who for me has never lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he lost to Jack Catterall, you know, and Josh Taylor as well.
And Josh Taylor.
Yeah, but you look at that, and you go after Barroso lost, and you go, is it a case of Ohara Davies has reached that stage in his career as he got old? Barroso is a very heavy-handed fighter, and I go, this is a calculated gamble by Adam Azim and his team.
No question.
But Ohara Davies, trust me, this kid can hit, he can fight, and we've got a cracker on Saturday night.
It's almost like, for me, it's a real test for him, because an Ohara Davies could turn up, and hopefully we'll get him in a minute, who might not have the tensile strength to hold off the speed of Adam Azim early, and he might get to him.
Yeah.
But if he fancies it when he gets in there and it works out for him and he gets the bit between his teeth and he starts to bite down on his gum shield, could be a very difficult night for Adam Azim.
Absolutely. This is what I'd say to you. Like, Ohara Davies has got deceptively long arms. You know,
he has.
Very
he's
awkward.
He's
absolutely.
got the body to arm ratio. No, the ratio is not right.
I've known him since he was an amateur, a top class amateur. Very heavy-handed. Like I say, those long levers create a lot of power, and he will take that gamble. He'll roll the dice, and he will take it to Adam Azim, who's got incredible hand speed, and you go, really, it's a crossroads fight for Ohara Davies to see exactly where he's sat now. It was a world title, interim world title last time out. Is he still at that level, or is it a crossroads fight for Adam Azim, who you go, coming of age fight really for Adam Azim? Boy, this geezer's tall, isn't he? Can you get us in the same shot? That's what I'm asking.
Here he is, big moustache.
Are they getting just
on it? The moustache is here. Is this Movember or not?
Live on talkSPORT.
Is this the Movember thing?
Right,
is it the Movember thing or not?
I think it's just more that I kind of like it.
Gareth,
it suits you. It looks very Edwardian.
Okay, I like that.
1880s to 1902. It's very.
You're more of a historian than I am, so you may have to educate me.
You know anyone told you it's October?
No, but a lot of guys grow moustaches at this time of year to their charity for Movember for cancer.
I might tie that in.
Nice big handlebar moustache.
Yes.
Anyway, off moustaches and onto boxing.
Yes.
You've been here for Leaders Conference this week.
Yes.
I didn't know, but you're probably hosting it, are you?
No, actually, this was my involvement for Leaders Week. It's an honor to be here. It's cool seeing boxing being represented in different industries, and I think that's something that Boxer is trying to do, something I certainly want to do. So it's an honor for us to be here. I mean, there's so many talented entrepreneurs that came here, business owners, employees of businesses, brands, innovation. And the fact that boxing got represented here is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Have you had a look at the ground?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it cool?
So, I mean, the stadiums here are top tier. Like, the sports culture here is amazing.
We need a big boxing match here, by the way.
Funny you say that, because I spoke to one of the members of staff here, actually, who took us out onto the pitch, and he said, do you know what? Why have we never had boxing here? I said, tell me why have you never had boxing here? He said, we've wanted it here, but no one's ever approached us. I mean, that's insane.
And I'll tell you another thing here. All the staff that work here are all fans of talkSPORT, because wherever we went, they were pointing me in the right direction.
Did you have any photos? Because
it was hard to find. No, not today. Not today. It's too long a journey. I need to get here. It's a long journey for the traffic. Big Mo, you're here a lot now.
Yeah.
Adam Azim, very exciting fighter. You were up there sitting with them just now.
Yeah.
Ohara if he's in the mood,
dangerous.
There you go.
Dangerous. This fight, I understand why Ohara feels the way that he does. Because if you look at it from Ohara's perspective, he has far more fights than Adam, far more experience than Adam, much older than Adam, much more developed than Adam. So it is a risky fight on paper. But at the same time, if Adam Azim is the prospect that we think he is, if we think that he's the star that he is, well, then he has to start coming into these fights. I love it.
Can I just say something about Ohara, an observation? He's like the Derek Chisora of the super lightweight division. He's on the cusp if he keeps going, because he said tonight he hates boxing with you up there. He doesn't like boxing, but he might keep going forever until Ben Shalom isn't promoting anymore, till you're a grandfather, till you're in, I don't know, back in the ring maybe, like the impossible thing. But he could go through and go to cult status if he keeps going, because he's had his bad boy time. I think that might happen for him.
He's a huge
and it will happen if he wins on Saturday night.
He's a huge character, and we saw another side to him up there, you know, where we've seen him in the past where he's slagging fighters off and slagging promoters off and even people in the crowd or whatever it is, but up there he was sort of quite humbled and says, listen, I'm a little bit tired of this sport now, and he was quite jokey about what he was doing, but do you know what it is about him? The unpredictability of, and that makes him a dangerous force, right? Where he goes in there. We must remember, guys, that this guy, right, for the psychological side of things here, that Adam Azim has to overcome because he sparred with Ohara when Ohara's just playing with him. You know, he was the man of the gym. Adam has to. So everyone's saying, oh yeah, Adam Azim wins the fight easy, but Adam going into this fight in his head's going, he was the man. Well, and that's a lot to overcome.
Final one, Mo, because I've got to switch you for Tunde. I'm sorry, we've got a lot of guests on tonight.
No.
What was the energy you felt up there? You were sitting with both of them. What was the energy you felt?
That was actually what I was going to say. I think that Ohara, he is casual about his approach, but don't get it twisted.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a top quality professional who's only lost to the best of the best, been on the world title stage. If he didn't want to be there, he wouldn't be there. So he does want to be there. He is still a top quality professional. Don't buy into the casualness. I don't know if it's an act. I don't know if maybe that's just his personality. He is someone that's going to bring it to Adam Azim. And if Adam Azim is not switched on, if he's not ready, if he comes into this light because Ohara is acting like he's taking it light, it could be a surprise for Adam Azim. But I think Adam's going to be switched on. I think we are in for what I think is going to be a great fight.
Look after that voice tonight. Make it sing tomorrow. We'll see you at the workouts tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care, guys.
Cheers.
Well, Tunde Ajayi is lurking somewhere. I can't see him.
I can see him.
There he is. I did see him.
How are we, mate? You jump in the middle.
But here he is. I'm very good. How are you? Very good to see you. How are you feeling?
Feeling emotional, kind of. I'll be honest with you.
Why?
Well, these are my boys.
Yeah.
You know,
all three of them on stage there tonight. Ohara, Azim, and
Yarde.
How do you overcome that, right? Because obviously you was with Ohara Davies for a long time. You developed him as a fighter from a young kid, same as Adam Azim. Now they're going at it to each other, and I think Ohara made a great point up there when he was talking about, you know, when we were nicking fruit out of shops because we had no money and jumping trains and that sort of stuff.
Water.
Now he can drive. Now he can drive to the gym in a nice car because boxing has given that to him. All thanks to Tunde.
Yes.
They both said that they had a lot of respect for you.
Yes.
So how does it make you feel? Them fighting each other, but two, what they've both achieved.
Well, you know, I think for myself, just the fact that, I mean, they can praise me as much as they want, but it always takes two. In this case, it takes four, because Anthony's there, Adam's there, and Ohara's there. And for me, it's about seeing the potential in a particular individual, even when they're as young as Adam was at 7 and 8. And, you know, Anthony seeing his potential and Ohara. But very rarely you see where there's a coach or a teacher or a trainer that has the opportunity to see three young men really ply their trade on the biggest stage. Sky Sports is the biggest platform in the world, bar none. And it's not about money. It's never been about money for me. It's been about the passion of the sport and the fact that I can help someone achieve their dreams. And we're seeing it.
They say the great coaches, the great trainers make people better. They don't just make them better boxers, but they make them better people. Is that part of your kind of overarching philosophy?
Yeah, well, every single one of them will tell you. And I have to say it's Anthony Yarde who's calmed me down, because I was really a sergeant major. I really broke a lot of kids because I was not then, and I'm still not now having it. I won't deal with no late attendance. There's no, the bus broke down. And, Adam, Ohara, and Anthony, they've had to learn their trade under that. But we can see now that based on that discipline, that teaching, they made it to this level.
Let me do a couple of quick fire questions. First of all, can Ohara Davies beat Adam Azim?
Well, I'm going to stay neutral on that.
Okay, that's fair enough. Right, we'll leave that alone then. What is happening with Anthony Yarde and the Joshua Buatsi fight? Anthony obviously has to win tomorrow night, but what's happening in your terms for that fight? Because it's a fight we must see, surely.
Well, I think everything will be sorted out, but so far as I know, Anthony Yarde is ready to fight. Anthony Yarde has never turned down a fight. I think that's the most important thing.
Sure.
And Anthony Yarde has been free to fight since February. And you can see we're here now, we're ready. So whether it's just,
do you think that's next though? Because Bivol and BeterbievBivol seem to be tied up.
Anthony has wanted to fight a number of people for the longest time. Buatsi's name was built off of Anthony Yarde. And that's the truth.
Really?
Listen,
is that fair?
Guys,
is that fair to Buatsi?
I think we've got to look at that and say that is the next biggest fight in the light heavyweight division. And, with the investment of Saudi... No, it's not the only fight, but I'm saying...
who else is there out there that you want?
You want to get it's on my social media.
No, but we're doing this interview now, so I
don't
want to direct people to
Anthony Yarde won the fight of the year last year. BeterbievBivol versus... And to me, it's still... BeterbievBiv's hardest fight because he came forward. There's no back foot boxing. It was exciting. I mean, if you listen to the TNT commentary in the 5th round, the microphone cameras picked up Bunsey saying, "Bloody hell, this is a bloody fight of the year." This,
listen, we were
commentating as well.
We was at ringside, and there were points in that fight when you're looking at a fighter, and I know this as an ex-fighter, and you see BeterbievBivol walking back to the corner, and he's digging deep mentally, like where you go, like Anthony is asking questions. Anthony Yarde is very heavy-handed, but he was taking him into a dogfight, and he was taking the fight. BeterbievBivol, that is BeterbievBiv's fight, but he's going. He was digging deep mentally, man. I know this.
And I asked you the question.
Absolutely.
Anthony only had 12 amateur fights. Anthony started his professional career with me. What would it have been if Anthony had 300 amateur fights like BeterbievBivol? If he had over 200 fights like Bivol? But guess what? Anthony has had to learn his trade the hard way. In the gym, mostly, where I believe all the learning takes place.
Tunde, I wanted to go back to that bit that you were talking about there, when you were talking about the life skills that it teaches boxers, and with you taking Anthony Yarde, Ohara Davies, and all the guys in the gym, you go, that's what boxing's taught them, isn't it? Like, they were all on that path where you go, they would have probably been bad individuals, but boxing has taught them the life skills to come out, and how proud at the moment it must be for you having these three on the bill, for one, with Adam Azim as well, but the life skills that's taught them along the way as well. That's the inspirational part for me. That's the story for me. Boxing being the umbrella, but the life skills.
I'll tell you one quick story.
Yeah, go on. Tell us.
Anthony Yarde, when he first came in the gym, I walked in, and this is why I know these free boys love me. A guy come in the gym and was looking at me. Remember, Anthony's fresh. These boys are fresh off the roads. Anthony, some boy come in the gym, Peacock Gym, Canning Town, and he started looking at me. And Anthony goes, "Bruv, don't look at my uncle like that." And I was like, "Ant, relax, relax. I'm trying to, we're trying to calm down here." And even a situation with Prince Patel, we used to have the Royal Rumble sparring in the gym. Adam Azim, Ohara Davies, Anthony Yarde.
I remember seeing those, by the way.
I remember that Prince Patel.
Yeah, I remember seeing them.
Was didn't do sparring.
No. He went like this, cheeky.
Yeah.
And the only fighter that defended that, don't touch my uncle like that. Don't touch my uncle like that. Was Anthony Yarde.
Yeah.
And it's just the whole journey.
That spiritual link, haven't you?
It's the whole
it's
journey.
It's a family
is
unit down there, for
Las
sure.
Las Vegas,
for sure.
Ohara Davies, sparring with Rolly Romero, beating up Morris Hooker. It's just a great thing. Adam Azim.
We're going to speak to you again tomorrow, hopefully, at the workouts, if that's all right. We've got to get Adam Azim in now because we've got loads of guests. Thank you very much, as always. Always great to speak
honestly,
to you.
Brilliant, man. Always, mate. Well done. Brilliant, mate. Here he comes.
Bristling with vim and vigour. Here he is. How you doing? Gloves on. Nice to see you.
Very well, mate. Very well.
Who used to wear gloves? Big, famous heavyweight from the past. Joe Louis. Joe Louis always. So many hands to shake. You don't want to get the
germs.
You don't want to cut them. You don't want the germs. You look fit, ready. You listened to all that Ohara had to say today. Ohara Davies. He did his spiel. What did you make of him?
He's entitled to say what he likes, but that's that's the horror he is, isn't it? He can say what he likes.
Sorry, it was remiss of me. This is Adam Azim, by the way.
Yeah.
You're
11-0, 8 KOs, rising star.
You're very respectful for each other, and we understand that. We just spoke to Tunde, and you all come through that. You all come through that meal of the, Tunde, the products of Tunde. So we understand what it is, but on fight night, you got to lose that respect. How do you do that?
When that first bell goes, I still got respect for him, but it was straight into switch mode, straight into fight mode, straight into who's going to win the fight.
And you was the young man that, so he was the guy, yeah? So, he's the one that's playing around with you. How do you psychologically overcome that? Because I was talking about that, how difficult it must be for you, because you're going in that ring remembering that he's the guy, but now it's your time. Tell us about that.
It's just like, I never thought it would come to this. I'm still
That's
remember.
what-
I
that's
still remember
exactly
the
it.
days like the back of my head. I still remember the days I used to train with Tunde, Anthony, Yarde, Ohara. It'd also be Bilal Ali. Heard of him? Bilal Ali.
I know Bilal.
Bilal
Came to the
Ali.
studio. He's a very interesting guy who gave up the sport but has come back.
Yeah. Him.
Yeah.
Like I know him for years. And me, Bilal, know each other for years, and we used to be in the same camp together, all of us. So it's just looking back at it. It's just like now it's just like something different now. I've got to fight him, and it's nothing personal, just business.
But like the psychological side, is that easy to overcome though, knowing that, you've always looked up to him, now it's your turn to try and take the baton?
Have you looked up to him?
Yeah, of course.
Do you look up to him? Do you actually look up to him? When did that stop?
No, of course. I've always looked up to him. When I was a kid, I've always, Tunde used to tell me that horror, watch the way he throws his jab, look at the way he throws his right hand.
He was like the man of the
He
gym,
was the
wasn't
man
he?
of the gym.
So were you about 15 when you started sparring with him then, or not?
No. So I was 8 years old, 9 when I was coming to see.
He's 11 years older, isn't he?
Yeah, 11 years
Yeah.
older, and then I officially sparred Anthony Yarde when I was 12 or 13, because obviously at that time.
Like really officially. That's like me sparring Spencer Oliver now and him
That
beating
means-
me up
that
every
means-
5 minutes.
That means that he was just taking a light on me. Because
Well, he's
obviously
going
something-
somewhere else for that then. I'm glad you said that.
but what did that? That's an amazing thing to do, though. I know the story's out there, but did that light a fire in you that day when you thought, I'm in here with this big lion, and I'm actually doing my thing?
That's
was
what
it,
I'm saying.
Was it
How does
incredible?
he overcome that even now? Because I'm talking as an ex-fighter. When I was sparring people, and I had to overcome that. When I boxed one guy for the Southern Area type, Patrick Mullins, was like he was always the man.
I love Paddy Mullins.
He was old because he was older than me. So when we're fighting, all the boxing media are going, Spencer Oliver wins inside 6. But I remember him kicking the out of me when I was
growing up.
actually growing up. So I'm going, I've got to overcome it. Going, I know I'm going into a hard fight here. It's harder than people think. You're in this position right now. That's why I'm asking you how you overcome it. Because I'm going, when he hits me a 3, I'm going to hit him a 4. If he hits me a 4, I'll hit him a 5. And that was my thing. I thought I've just got to do enough and just keep going, whatever it takes. I was prepared to go there, and that's why I'm asking you.
Of course, it's hard to overcome it, but at the end of the day, it's I got Joshua Boatsi versus Dan Aziz. They were very good friends, but they had to fight each other. Look, it's business at the end of the day, but the respect will be there straight after the fight, and there's always going to be there before the
And
fight.
it's also that rite of passage that you're going through as well, to go from boy to young man to man. You spoke about it up there today, about you feel like you're growing like a man every day in the gym. I mean, you're incredibly young, but there's a maturity that you have to show inside and outside the ring. Even though you're not headlining, you're the headliner on this.
Yeah, of course. Look, as a man, I'm maturing as a full-on man. I can feel it in myself. A lot of people have noticed the way I'm talking, the way I'm presenting myself, the way I'm training. Even when I'm sparring, I know what I'm doing now. I know what I have to do in scenarios. So
Can you walk away like Conor McGregor then, right now for us?
I
No,
can,
we've got to get rid of you. We've got
He
to let you go.
He stole
for
my
another
record after
interview.
26 years as well. I was still a little
Yeah,
bit
no,
pissed
are you
off when
are
I
you,
but,
are you pleased about that, though? You pleased that you're taking this round?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, no one better deserved it than
Thank
this
you,
man,
man.
for
Thank you.
sure.
Appreciate
Listen,
it.
you go on, you get
We'll see you
yourself going,
tomorrow.
man, and we'll
Go
see
on,
you tomorrow.
Walk away with a bit
Well
of
done.
McGregor swag. Go on.
Well done.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Right, he's such a brilliant young man. You
He
can
is.
really feel that he's so switched on and dedicated.
He's got a lot of positive energy around him.
The
do you know?
energy is
Yeah,
amazing. So
absolutely.
is Tunde, by the way.
Absolutely.
Because what he does, he's a father figure and a mentor and a spiritual guide for a lot of his fighters. And I've always loved that about him. That, as he said, he came in and he's getting emotional about these 3 guys who he's worked with for so long. The cream is rising to the top.
absolutely.
And without each other, they wouldn't get there. It's a lovely story.
Brilliant story.
Are we done?
You're very spiritual, man, aren't you?
I am, but I want more. Do we
I think
want more?
I think we better wrap it now.
No, I'm not wrapping this. We got a lot more to do yet.
Let's do it.
Well, look, Fran Hennessy. Let me talk about Fran Hennessy for a minute. She was up on the top table today. She is very, very impressive as well.
Do you know what? 4-0 now, and her last fight, actually, she had to dig deep and ask questions of herself as well. It was a great development fight. You know, she's only a young lady, just turned 19 years of age.
The daughter of Mick Hennessy, the promoter, you'd never have thought.
But you'd think
that
butter
she would
would
get
melt.
into the
You
sport.
see her, like, she's very, like, you know what I mean? She's very, like,
classy,
sort of ladylike.
trendy.
And, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But when she gets in there to switch, boom, she goes for it. But she had to dig deep last time, and that will set her in good stead. That will be the moulding of her as a fighter, actually, moving forward in her career, because you have to go through those sort of acid tests, fights that you don't think are going to be particularly hard, and you've got to start asking your questions about yourself, and you've got to find that adaptability and change things up in there. That is growing as a fighter. She had that in her full fight.
Yeah, but the thing is, for the young women who are very talented now, when they get to about 10 fights, they're at world level, or they're good enough to fight for world titles. And she's going to move very quickly, and I imagine that within a year or so, that she'll be fighting for a world title, Spencer.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I don't think there's such a pool of fighters in the women's game in certain weight divisions. So, yeah, it will come sooner rather than later because she's got that talent.
Right, let's talk about Ben Shalom and Frank Warren, the rivalry that kicked off in Riyadh. The rumble in Riyadh between the two promoters, the youngster and the old boy. The old boy, a lot of people saying that they fancy the old boy in the scrap.
Listen, you say the old boy, I think we have to refer to him as the Godfather, don't we?
Like the Godfather, that's fine with me. They did have a row on stage. Ben Shalom did move himself behind Chris Eubank, and Camille Zeramata, wanted himself in position. There was a little bit of pushing. It was a very gentle push from Frank, to be honest, but Frank gave it to him afterwards. The rows continued. Ben's here, obviously, today, but Frank said that Ben was a nightmare to deal with in Riyadh, that he wanted to sit certain places. He's forcing his way, isn't he, Ben? He's having to force his way into that platform that Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn already have over there.
Gareth, he sort of has to, doesn't he? Because you've got there the Godfather, as I referred to him, as in Frank Warren, who's been there, seen it, done it, been around forever, and is in this amazing position, you know, with Saudi Arabia and Riyadh season and Turkey Al Sheikh. Then you've got Eddie Hearn, this sort of like the flash, cocky kid who's sort of come in and transformed matchroom boxing.
They're both more than
and done
that.
it.
They're
They're
incredibly
huge.
powerful
Yeah,
figures.
that's what I'm saying. Huge, powerful figures. And then you've got young Ben Shalom, who's coming in and trying to add. It's not an easy task. By the way,
he has said that over and over again.
It's not an easy
he's
task.
Trying to. They've needed to almost use guerrilla warfare to get into the landscape. That it's not an easy thing to do. They've come and he's called himself a disruptor, and that's what it was there on stage. But the point is, you need the rivalries. 100%. You need the competition. And he's providing competition through Boxer, through his stable, through Sky Sports. Mm-hmm. And at the moment, the combination of Hearn and Warren together with Turkey Al Sheikh is very powerful.
That's powerful, man.
So he's got to keep the pressure up. This card, coming on the back of that, I'm very pleased.
It's a huge card, by the way.
It's live, for a reminder, by the way, on talkSPORT on Saturday night from the arena, the Copper Box. It'll probably be sold out. You're there with John Rawley. Myself and Adam Catchell will be doing the presenting, but you guys will be commentating. Are you looking forward to any other fights in particular on the card?
I'm glad you asked me. Dan Aziz versus Louis Edmondson. I think that's a great fight because Dan Aziz obviously got the draw last time out, and Louis Edmondson is the kid that's always been calling for it. He was calling for Ben Whittaker. He wanted that fight with Ben Whittaker. He's unbeaten as a pro as well, but he's just been wanting that opportunity. Well, guess what? He gets it against our good old mate Dan Aziz, and it's a great fight because you got that guy that's sort of been there, now trying to, you know, kick back on in his career after a setback with that loss to Joshua Buatsi, then the draw last time out. Big question marks over Dan Aziz. Where's he at now? Yeah. Is he sort of on the decline? Well, he's got the chance to answer that against Louis Edmondson, who gets his huge opportunity. Boxing's all about opportunity, and Edmondson's asked for it, and he's got it. What a great fight that is.
Another big storyline to come out of last weekend and obviously carry through this week. Ben Whittaker, people saying he looked for a way out. You've talked about it in detail already. My take on it is, I am not going to judge the guy until his medical stuff comes out. Obviously, the ankle was wrapped up. Ben Shalom has spoken about the injuries today, but said he won't be back till next year. For me, he's got to fight Liam Cameron next. There's no other fight for him to take other than Liam Cameron.
Of course, that's the fight.
Who's now signed by Warren.
Absolutely.
So, Frank Warren. So maybe that goes on the 5v5 card they're going to do in February.
Look, absolutely, but I think that Ben Whittaker was very fortunate to get away with that split decision draw last time out.
You thought he was losing the fight. I remember at the time
I
you
did.
thought
I thought he was behind. To be fair, I thought that Liam Cameron was turning it around, and all the momentum was going with Cameron. And I go, look, listen, Ben Whittaker, we've all cheered for him. We always said that this is the next big thing in British boxing. I still stand by that, but I just think that there's changes that need to be made, adjustments that need to be made. But I think what is important here for Ben Whittaker, and this is the very difficult thing, is there's a lot of, the jury is out right now on whether, he spewed it, whether they...
No, he had a bad night. He had a very, very bad
but I'm
night.
saying when he come out, I go, all you got to do is produce the evidence to show the injuries, and then we can put this to bed and move on. But, you can understand where people are coming from right now by saying,
you can
show us, let's see where it is.
Listen, he's been in this sport all his life. I don't think he was
he's
quitting.
Not that guy.
I don't think
he's not that guy.
No. He was having a very bad night.
Listen,
I don't want to say he was looking for a way out.
We know he's not that guy because I know the makeup of the guy, I know the history of him, I know him personally, and he's not that guy. But what I'm saying is, to get all the criticism off your back and move on and move forward, just present whatever it is and take it from there.
You've said it, and a lot of people said it, and I agree with you, and we said it on the night as well when we were in commentary. He fought the wrong fight. He thought he underestimated Liam Cameron.
There you go.
And he went in there and he thought he could have a dogfight with him. And that's exactly... Liam Cameron's
it
life is a dogfight.
Listen,
this
could be the making for him, because I think this could be the kick up the arse he needs to shake it up and go, listen, we can't we can't deny the talent this kid's got.
He's got incredible talent. He's a really, really talented guy.
He's sorry about the language, isn't he? He's sorry about the language.
What he needs to do is prove the doubters wrong, and I think that's where he's going to be very strong.
Well, let's see
what
happens.
His power at elite level. We'll always talk about that, but it's a fascinating case study. Shannon Courtney back finally.
Excuse me, mate. Can you? We're doing podcasts here, mate.
Ringcraft boxing facilities just trolleying their way past us here. Well, it's nice to get abuse from the terraces, isn't it? We always get.
Wow.
Brilliant. But Shannon Courtney is back.
Yeah.
Good to see her back in action.
Absolutely.
She's been away a while.
She's been away for 2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years.
Last fight was against Gemma Rueg, and she had a tough fight there. She
did.
come through that fight, to be fair. Lost to Jamie Mitchell for the world title before that fight. And so, it's been tough. She lost the title on the scales. She struggled to make the weight there. But she's back, which is a good thing. It's good for women's boxing. She was a big name in the sport of boxing, and she was back.
It's great to see. Anthony Yarde, we're trying to get over to say hello.
Happy fight is a dangerous fighter, they say.
Exactly.
Yeah, come on. So tell us about, getting back in the ring. Been out now, 8 months or so? You're getting back in there. Tell us how good that feels. And with what's on the horizon for you as well, the big fights that are sort of set up, which we'll go into in a minute. But it just must be nice to get back in there.
For me, that's priority. Getting back in there. You that have known me now for a long time. This has happened before, I've got one fight, they're talking about a BeterBiev fight. I've got another fight, they're talking about another fight. So I'm very focused on the fight I have in hand. And again, the guy I'm fighting, he's going to see this as opportunity.
17-1, he's a decent fighter. He's a decent fighter, 15 in the WBA.
Exactly. So this ain't and it's a last minute replacement. Again, there was other people that were named. I'm not in control of when people pull out. If people are scared of me, it's not my fault. But again, this was a fight where I want to be active. Thank you years ago to this guy. I can't remember his name, but I know he's, as you said, top 15 with the WBA. And I don't see anyone as a pushover at this stage in my career.
Can I just rewind to the weekend and ask you what you made of the BeterbievBivol fight?
Excellent fight.
Who did you win? Who did you have winning, by the way?
Some people are going to shoot me, but I had it either. The fairest decision would have been a draw. That's how good of a fight it was.
Yeah.
But if I had to give it to someone, I would have given it to BeterBiev.
As we both did.
Yeah, we both did.
Why? Can you explain that?
The reason I would have given it to BeterBiev is because I think everyone bruises different, but their faces did show. Who took the most punishment. Sometimes BeterBiev's approach doesn't look good to the eye, but it's very, very effective.
Yeah.
And where he was genius was the last 10 seconds
Exactly.
sometimes, or the last 30 seconds, when a round was close,
Exactly.
he knew when to put his foot on the gas.
And
And,
that's
that was the
experience.
difference between winning and losing the
How
rounds.
did you see it as the fight evolved then? Did you see Bivol dominating early and then the fight?
So what I saw, the first 3 rounds, I had it 3-1. But again, there's some rounds which I understand can be arguable. So that's why I said the draw could have been a fair decision. Early rounds, I'll say that the first, after 6 rounds, I had it 3-3. Some people I wouldn't have argued with 4-2 to Bivol.
Yeah.
And then at the middle rounds, again, some debatable rounds, but the last 2 rounds were undeniable.
Championship rounds, and that's when
Undeniable.
we had it all levels. Or I had
Yeah.
it all levels after 10,
See,
and the last 2
similar.
rounds,
Yes.
he put his foot on the gas, he turned the screw.
So let me ask you, what you were watching there, let me throw you in against Bivol. What happens?
I think, again, I've always been confident in myself, and I've shown that again with the fight I gave BeterbievBivol. I literally just got caught with a very good shot. He is a monstrous puncher. Someone like Bivol, if he don't catch me the same way, I think I'll win. I'm just very confident in my power. You know, no one's gonna just walk forward.
Well,
with me.
let's throw you in against BeterbievBivol there again in the return.
I think I'll win the rematch.
In the rematch, it's them slight adjustments that need to be
Exactly.
made. You've
And
got the
he's-
ability
and
to do
he's-
that.
He's gonna want to make adjustments as well because
Yeah.
he took a lot of punishment in the fight.
And in all of this, we're not overlooking your opponent on Saturday night,
Yes.
obviously, but obviously we do want to see you in with Joshua Boazzi. What did you
Yes.
make of his performance against Willie Hutchinson?
Yes.
And are we going to see that fight next year before the first, say, half of next year?
I don't know when the fight will actually be, but the fight will happen.
You couldn't go to your grave knowing you didn't fight Joshua Boazzi, could you?
I could. I don't think he could.
Could you?
I don't think he could.
Would that not bother you then?
I don't think he could. Because
Okay.
he's not a world champion yet, so really
Right.
he ain't got nothing to offer me.
Yeah.
My name's bigger than his name.
Yeah.
It's the fans that want to see that fight because, in my opinion, Eddie Hearn done a fantastic job when he's promoting him to keep mentioning my name.
Yeah.
So every time he was fighting, it was, Anthony Yarde, because, again, that's good promoting. That's keeping his name spoke about. And then, again, we got to this point, the performance against Hutchinson, very, very good performance. Hutchinson's not no joke fighter either. But again, I thought that there was a point where he could have put his foot in the gas like I would have and tried to get him out of there. It's entertainment. People like yourself, want to see you finish the job, finish your porridge. That's what my mum used to say.
When are we going to be getting a fight for the ages when you two do get in the ring, though?
Oh, 100%. Everyone knows my style.
Styles make fights, and I think that
Styles make
stylistically, it's not rocket science how these two will approach that fight. Boazzi's going nowhere. He's going nowhere. So 2 aggressive fighters equals fireworks.
Do you stop him?
I think I could stop any light heavyweight on the planet.
Well, go and stop that guy on Saturday night. We'll look forward to
Mate.
it. We'll be there for talkSPORT. It's brilliant to be following your career as always.
By the way,
Thank you, man. Good to see you.
loving the bling, mate.
Oh, come on. You know,
Go-
Thank you very much, Anthony.
Hey,
you.
and this more dancing. Don't get him going, by the way. All right, mate.
That's Anthony Yarde, obviously, fights on Saturday night. That is about it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow at the workouts. My pal Spencer Oliver's been brilliant today. It's great to be here. Twickenham Stadium, the Leaders Conference. All our guests, thank you very much. We will see you tomorrow.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.